Hello and welcome to my garage gym, where today I'm going to take you through my normal leg workout that I'll have all linked in the description so you can check that out, have it all in a easy to look at format in case you want to use it. So this is primarily hypertrophy focused leg day as opposed to just strength training, lower reps. We're looking at higher reps in the 10 to 15 rep range, which it's not necessarily that amount of reps that builds muscle, which is what hypertrophy is, but it's more so time under tension for around 40 to 50 seconds for each movement, and 10 to 15 reps generally comes out to about that length of time as long as you're not blasting through all the reps. So always starting with compound movements for my lifts. So we're gonna be doing the squat. We're doing lightweight first. I'm getting old, can't just jump into heavy weight, and you shouldn't do that either because you want to protect your knees. Like my knees get hurt easily, my back has been injured many times, so using the exercise to warm up into it is a good way to do it. So whatever your top set is gonna be, whatever that weight is, I take half of that, so 50%. So 225 is my top set for today. So I'm using 110 right now for my warm up, doing 15 reps. And we're not just going through these really fast, like blasting through these. We're taking the time, getting a good stretch, and making sure everything's warmed up as we increase the weight to get towards that top set. So now for the second set, moving up to 75%, not 75% of your 1 rep max, the 10 to 12 reps we're gonna be doing for the top set. So here I have 170 pounds doing 12 reps here. And as far as rest goes, working on like a 6-to-1 work rest ratio. So that's like if your set took 30 seconds, that'd be 3 minutes of rest. If it took you a minute, up to 6 minutes. That doesn't mean you have to do a certain amount of rest for each thing. More so just make sure you're rested enough so that you can give give your all when you do your hard sets. Because you don't want to be dead when you're getting to your next set because you're not going to get as much out of it. So just make sure you rest as long as you need. Caught your breath, you're ready to go. You give a good amount of effort. So now we're moving on to the top sets of the squats. So with this, we're shooting for 10 to 12 reps, and that's pretty much to failure, or as I like to usually say, failure of good form, because with compound movements like this, I don't want to go all the way to failure because it's easy for your form to break down, and that's when injuries start to happen. So when I can feel myself starting to bend forward or just getting off balance, that's when I'm done, because I have back issues, and if I start getting out of line with heavy weight on me, then it's gonna make that even worse. You might be thinking, with your form, you're not even going past parallel, which you don't have to go past parallel squats. If it's comfortable and you have the flexibility to do that, then sure, go ahead. But like I said, for me, I got back issues, and as soon as I go past parallel, I can feel my lower back start to hurt, and it's not worth getting hurt because then I'm not gonna be able to do it at all for a few weeks. I'm not saying, go like 45 degrees like this and barely squat. You still wanna go as deep as you comfortably can, but parallel is fine. I don't go past parallel at all. Some of them are even short of that, but I've made pretty good progress squatting consistently for a year and a half now, and my legs have grown quite a bit, not going ever past parallel. So do what makes sense for you. And also, I like to use a belt. I just started doing this a couple months ago for my top sets, just because you need to brace your core when you're doing your squats. And this is just a reminder, when you get to the last few reps of these, it's easy to just start focusing on trying to get the weight up because it's really heavy. And this is just a reminder to, I feel something there, I need to push against it with my whole core. So I've been using this lately. It's actually a dip belt, but it works for this as well. It's got some cushion in there and you can tighten it up. There's no notches, so you can make it as tight as you want. So got 12 reps on that one. That's the top end of the rep range. The next set, we're doing the same weight. This is the last set for squats, but it's 9 to 12 reps. Ideally, if you're going to failure on something, your next set, you're not gonna be able to get the same amount of reps. So it's 10 to 12 reps on the first set, then 9 to 12. So if I'd only gotten 10, then I probably wouldn't get more than 9 if I was really going to failure and pushing hard enough. So if you find yourself finishing your set and you got a lot more in you, then probably use more weight next time. So I just hit 12 on that. As long as I get 10 to 11 reps on this set, then I'm gonna be moving the weight up on my next workout to 235, then shooting for the bottom end of that range, 10 reps, and then staying on that weight till I get to the top of the rep range once again, then I'll increase the weight again. That's progressive overload. That's one way to do it, by different reps and also different weights, combining those two different things. So we'll see how it goes. So the main compound movement is done now, squats. Next up, I do lunges, and you don't have to do this. When I'm in a gym, I usually prefer doing something like leg press or some other kind of squatting machine, but I don't have that option here at home. So I go to the lunges, which is good because I can work each leg individually. It's quite tough when you're weighing it down, but you just got to do what works for you with what you have available. So I start out another semi warm-up set. I've got 25 pounds in each hand, and I'm going to be working up to 75s for my last set. So once again, I'm just doing 15 reps here. So that's 15 per side. If you're alternating, then that's 30 reps total that you're counting. And the warm-ups are really important with this. Again, even though I'm generally warmed up because of all the squats I've done on my muscles, it's still a different movement, and especially unilateral stuff, one leg at a time. I want to make sure I'm just warmed up into that movement so I'm not, getting wobbly or anything like that and getting hurt. I am all about staying as safe as possible. So next set, got 50 pounds in each hand on this one, and then moving up to the heavyweight. I'm doing 15 reps on this. I remember 50 pounds in each hand was my top set about a year ago, so it's pretty cool when that becomes one of your warm-up sets. So now we're on to the 2 top sets for the lunges. This time, not 10 to 12, but we're doing 12 to 15 reps on this, and this is pretty much going all out once again. Then we'll do a second set with the same weight, doing 10 to 15 reps. So I was doing 75, but I only have 70s and 80s, so I have a backpack with an extra 10 pounds. I'll stick in here. And the only thing different with this set is I do one leg at a time, so I'll do all 15 or however many I can with the left side. Then I take a rest for 30 seconds to a minute, then do the other side, because when I alternate on these top sets, my heart rate will get up to like 180, and it feels like I'm gonna die. The other thing to keep in mind with these when you're doing one side at a time is I would suggest going with your weaker side first. If you do have one, like my wife for instance, her left leg is weaker and she started her lunges with her right leg. She's able to do more on the right, so the left leg started to fail. So you do your weaker side first. Once you fail on that, you know not to do more on your stronger side. If you're doing lunges, you don't have to do like I'm doing in place, stepping backward. You can do walking lunges, moving forward. I used to do it that way, but it's just a lot easier on my knees, going backwards instead of going forwards and having to stop your body weight on your knee. So do what's comfortable for you. So halfway through the workout, next up we're gonna be doing a circuit. And for this first round, doing between 15 and 20 reps, not completely to failure, but to where maybe you have 2 to 3 reps left in the tank. Since we are once again doing another exercise, we're pretty much warmed up, but still don't wanna go completely to failure yet, still warming up for each of these movements. So pushing pretty hard, but not completely to failure yet. The second set we'll be doing 12 to 15 reps, and those will be to failure with heavier weights on each of them. So starting out doing the seated incline curls here, there's nothing special about it. The big thing is you just want to make sure that pretty much seated there and curling up, not trying to swing the weights up. If you find yourself swinging, then it's probably too heavy. You need to lower the weight some. On your last few reps, yeah, it's okay to cheat a little bit to get the weight up there, but then you can let it down slowly because you're still getting a lot of work done in the negative portion of that lift. So after that, we're going to be doing barbell hip thrusts. These are really good for the glutes. And I noticed my squat started improving a lot quicker once I started implementing these. So the same thing with all these different exercises. These are more isolation movements. You want to make sure that you're focusing on good reps, not just throwing the weight up there and dropping back down, but getting the weight up, pausing for a second, then letting it back down, and really getting a good contraction on all of your exercises, really feeling the muscles work. The next up, doing calf raises. My favorite way to do these are on a leg press machine or some kind of actual calf machine where you can load up the weights easily. But for me, I'm just doing them on the back of a bench. I go back and forth. Some days I'll do single leg calf raises and then just hold a weight in one hand. Today though, I'm gonna be doing both calves at the same time and just putting my weight belt on and hooking a lot of weight to that. So just whatever type of calf raise is most comfortable for you and that you actually enjoy. It's really easy to just start bouncing up and down, getting them in real quick, but the same thing, you wanna get a really good contraction, pause, and then let it back down slowly on each of those reps and really feel your calves work. After that, you're gonna be doing a barbell curl. The same concept as the other curls. You wanna make sure the weight's light enough so you can have good form, curl the weight up and let it back down. You don't wanna be leaning back like crazy, getting the weight up. Once again, on your last rep or two, maybe swinging it up a little bit just to get it there and then letting it down slowly to still get some work in on the negative. You don't have to do barbell curls, really just pick something that you like. If you have a preacher curl machine, you can do that. Dumbbell curls, just whatever, some kind of curl other than the seated incline curl. Then going to leg extensions, once again, you wanna make sure the weight's light enough that you can get the weight up, hold it there, then let it back down slowly. Up, pause, let it back down slowly, not just throwing the weight up and letting your legs fall. When you're doing leg extensions, make sure you're not swinging back and forth trying to get the weight up. You wanna sit straight. If there's handles, use it to hold yourself in place. Whole upper body shouldn't move, just your legs. Up, pause, down. And then finally, the leg curl, and the same concept as the leg extension. Pull the weight up, get a good contraction, let the weight back down slowly. Curl it up hard, pause, let it back down slowly. And I know if you're working out in a gym, then this probably is gonna be possible, especially if it's really busy. You probably won't be able to do 6 different machines at a time without somebody hopping in there. So you can break it up as you want, and you can do this in any order you want as well. This is just what I prefer, but you could split up, maybe do 2 things back to back, and then do the next 2 back to back, and just figure out what works for you based on your gym and what is available. So we're gonna get into this now. Just push hard, and only maybe 30 seconds to a minute rest between each of the movements. So after those 2 circuits, we're doing one more circuit, but this time it's just the incline curls, calf raises, then the barbell curls, and then one more set of calf raises, because we already got the quads and the hamstrings pretty well from the squats and lunges. So we're getting one extra set for the biceps and the calves since we haven't been working them as much. And you might wonder, why are you doing arms or biceps in particular on leg day? Well, that's because just doing back work, you use a lot of your biceps too, even if you're not trying to. So I find I get a better bicep workout when I do it on a separate day, and since my back and leg days are always separated by 2 days, they're always recovered enough by then. So I just find I get a better arm work when I do it this way, and it makes my back days shorter. So get this last set. This time it's 8 to 12 reps to failure. Still good form. And that is the end of my leg day for hypertrophy. Hit the like button and let me know down in the comments if you try it, what you think of it. It's pretty hard when you go all out on these exercises, but the biggest thing, if you want to make sure you're getting good progress, there goes the mail truck, to make sure that you track your workouts. As you can see back there, I have my push, pull, and leg day. And when you do that, going in the gym with the focus, with the goal of something to shoot for, to get one more rep or to add a little bit more weight, and that is how you get better and your muscles grow. Because if you just go into the gym without any plan, just think, oh, I'll do that today or that, you're not really gonna be able to consistently track what you're doing and make sure you are making progress. So definitely keep a note in your phone, have a piece of paper, whatever, keep track of it. And it also helps when you can look back and see your progress over time. Like a year ago, I was only able to squat like 160 pounds maybe for my top sets because my legs were really weak, but I've been doing this for a year and a half now. I've had great results in my legs and everywhere else. It's been working really well. So make sure you go into the gym with a goal, you're pushing hard. I'm gonna put some more videos out like this, so let me know if you like this one by hitting that like button. I'm gonna go over my push and pull day as well. These are for hypertrophy. I also have some strength training days I do as well. Does anybody have quiet cars around here? And with that, I will see you soon.